starting a brand is difficult by nature, but I feel like the person who made the statement, or the people or the organization or agency or institution, whatever it is that made the statement that building a brand is difficult, that statement was made long time ago. It was made long time ago when there was no social media, when there was no internet, when there was no computers. So you get that the statement, I feel like it's irrelevant now. So for the purpose of this video, I'm gonna say building a brand is difficult, but it's not difficult like before. Building a brand is fairly easy for us, for AMA 2000, I would say, because we are a generation of social media, we are a generation of online, we are a generation of computers, we are a generation of AI. So majority of things that are written in books, books that were published 1994, 1980, 20, a long time ago, I'm not saying they're not relevant, but all I'm saying is there is information that would apply in the olden days, such as building a brand is difficult. But it is difficult to build a brand, but I think if you know those 5 tips, it might be fairly a bit easy, it might be fun, and it might be a doable thing to build a brand. So number one, when building a brand in that digital age, I would say invest in content. Number one, make a lot of content about the brand that you're building. Either it being you being the content, or either it being a clothing brand, either it being whatever it is, build content around it. Content is the number one thing that has emerged with the digital age. Because I would say, for me, content is the identity of you online. So if you think of how people are living here, you can see your neighbor, you see people, you interacting with them, that's their lives. They are represented, the representation of a person on earth is through their body. You see their body, you see them. So content is the same thing online. Everybody lives online currently, and it's gonna be more and more and more, and there's gonna be a year whereby everyone is online. If you're not online, it is the equivalent of not having an ID. So there's gonna be a time on earth when everybody is online, and everybody online is gonna be represented by content. So think of it in this context. When you're living, people like, I would say they put you in a category depending on your body. If you look cute, people like you. If you look fat, people say you must go gym and get a nice body. If you have a nice body, so do you see that a person is from the inside? A person is a good person because he has a good heart. He's a wise person because he has a great mind. Everything is internal, but people denote us, or get a representation of us from our bodies. So it is the same thing as content. People would say would get what you are, or denote what you are through your content. So if you're thinking of you want to live online, then you should be thinking of how do I want to live online, and the representation of you online is through your content. So number one, content. Prioritize content. Number two, when building a brand, for me, this is my tip, I would say build relationships. A brand is a brand because it lives in the mind of your consumers. So anything that is in the mind of your consumers, if for example, somebody is like, Gift is such a wise person, then to that person, my brand is a wise person. If somebody is like, I Gift to a papa, then to that person, my brand is Gift to papa. So what I'm trying to put through, or what I'm trying to get to you, is that a brand is in the mind of consumers. So if you are acting differently to different people, then those people are gonna have a different brand of you. Hence consistency, which is number 3. But since we're in number 2, I would say relationships. Start building good relationships with whoever you want to build a brand for. Build good relationships. Number 2. Number 3, consistency. I think I've tapped into it, saying that if you don't have consistency, then kule strata lesia uzoba itsotsi, kule strata leo umfundisi, kule strata lesia uistagwa. So there's that inconsistency. When that person from that strat meets that person, is like, yo, I was with Gift, is such a great person. It's like, who, that one? So there's that inconsistency. So you need to have consistency in your brand. And I believe A lot of people feel that consistency is built when you are ongoing with your brand, but consistency is built from the word go, from you deciding that, okay, my brand is going to be blue, my brand is going to be red, and I'm going to keep it red across all platforms of communication. So you need to have a brand and have something to stand on. My friend Katleho calls it a center. You need to have a center, something you fall for, something that you live in for. So that's your brand at the end of the day, and it needs to be so powerful that you live it. Which is number 3, consistency. Number 4 for me would be number 4. I have to think of it from the top of my head. Okay, somebody's calling me. Can I just answer this? Sis Rev? Kakabuyi, Sis Rev. Hello? Ngitha kakabuyi. Ngizomtshela makabuye kuTekfonele. Sure. Sorry, call. And so number 4 for me would be number 4 for building a brand would be content, consistency. What would be number 4 for building a brand? Communication. So number 4 for me would be communication. Building a brand, you need to communicate. You need to have a presence in the mind of the consumers. So if you're having a brand and you're not communicating, which is something that I've, to be honest, failed a lot to do. I have failed to communicate with the people I'm building a brand for. The reason I'm saying you're building a brand for somebody is because some people, you go to town, you wanna path. You guessing for the people. You're like, yo, abantu ngeke bangibone kanje. So you're building a brand for those people. So when I say communication, I'm saying you need to have a way to communicate with your people. If you're building a brand for this specific people, you need to know where are those people, what language do they speak, and how do you get across them. If you don't know these things, then you're not going to be building a brand, because you're going to be out here acting like Mfundisi. But the people that you're trying to build a brand for don't care about you, because they don't know you, they don't like you, they don't trust you, they don't know. If somebody doesn't know you, he doesn't like you or trust you because he doesn't know you. You heard? So when building a brand, you need to know where the people you want to target are, what language they speak. Language might be a lot of things, which is behavior, how they denote something. So I would say you need to know how to communicate with the people you're building a brand for. And for number 5, I would say when building a brand, guess what number 5 will be? Number 5 for me would be to build trust. Number 5, build trust. There's no other way to say it, but you need to build a trust with whoever you're building a brand for. People might know you, people might like you, but if they don't trust you, they won't get into a partnership with you. They won't go to that call to action, because whenever you're building a brand, it's most of the time there's a call to action. You're building a brand so that people like you and they buy your product. People like you and they do. Even in our normal lives, we always building a brand. We always want to wake up and bath and smell nice. For who, chief? To do what? You see? So when building a brand, always keep in mind that you need people to trust you. So you need to find ways to get people to trust you, because when building a brand, there's 3 stages you need to pass through, which is people need to know of you, people need to like you, and people need to trust you. So I have emphasized on the last one, which is trust, because most people go through the process and people now know them, people now like them, now they have to trust them, and somebody doesn't trust you. And when somebody doesn't trust you, there's no transaction of business that's gonna happen. This is my 5 tips while waiting for the mechanic to fix my car. I just wanted to drop this 5 tips I think can help you in building your brand.